IVM.
There's a quick survey to fill out on ivmpodcast.com/survey. It lets us know a little bit more about who's listening to us. And you know what? We're going to do a few prizes. So, we'll do a random drawing of maybe 10 people and we'll send you all some swag. Remember, that's ivmpodcast.com/survey where you can fill out the survey.
You are the most valuable investment you will ever make. Hi, I'm Zarina Poonawalla, your leadership coach, life coach, and emotional intelligence coach. You probably know me from the Empowering series, and this is my new show, the Life Manifesto with Zarina Poonawalla. I'm going to coach you to be the best version of yourselves. So get ready to create, attain, and manifest the life you've always desired and make it your reality. When I was younger, I'd write thoughts, quotes, and philosophies in my diary, and one day I came by this quote. It hit me hard, and I just landed up reading it again and again. I realized how true it was. The quote was something like this: all of the drama you suffer in your personal life is the result of believing in lies, mainly about yourself. Think about it. Isn't it true? How easily you tend to believe the lies, the narratives people make about you. And then you enslave yourself to their narrative, their distorted version of who you are. And that's not even the worst part. The worst part is you believe these lies about yourself and try to explain, try to justify yourself umpteen number of times. But have you ever wondered why you justify yourself over such feeble lies? It was an eye-opener for me too. And I resonated with it so much that I was curious to actually know who wrote it. And I kind of started digging in deeper. It was this author named Don Miguel Ruiz, or Rui. So I wanted to read a little more about him, see where the context of this quote came from. And that's how I stumbled upon one of the most life-defining books I have ever read. And this book is called The 4 Agreements. Ever since, I never fail to recommend it to clients, friends, students, any talk show or program I'm on, any workshop, webinar. And whenever someone asks for a book recommendation, this one surely, I do recommend it. And now I'm wondering why I haven't shared this with you yet, right? It's been a while. I should have shared this with you earlier, but it's never too late. The 4 Agreements has been my go-to book in my personal and professional situations, and it helps deal with so many self-limiting beliefs. In fact, let me share some trivia with you. The book was endorsed by Oprah Winfrey, and she had Don Miguel on her show. It then went on to become one of the most influential books of all times, and it has been published in 46 different languages, sold over probably 8 million copies in the US alone. Now I hope I've built some curiosity in you. So let's just deep dive into this really amazing read. And in case you aren't a reader, I'll do my best to impart the lessons that I have understood from it and make this easy for you. The 4 Agreements is a book of Toltec wisdom. And the Toltecs, they inhabited in Mexico. And their spirituality was all about educating and sharing more, like passing on knowledge that they gathered. Interestingly, and listen to this very carefully, they believed that all life is a dream and we are dreaming even while we are awake. Interesting, right? And that we are merely living in an illusion created by ourselves. It's like starring in your own movie, watching it, and also writing the scripts. And we follow that as we go on. That's how we live. It does shed a lot of light on how we get so caught up in societal pressure that we are bound to. And we are bound to it from a very young age. And our dreams, they are dictated to us by maybe parents, teachers, relatives, people in position, people in power, constantly teaching us how to behave properly all the time. Now, what do you think happens to us? Think about it. Eventually, you get domesticated. We're punished for the bad, rewarded for the good. We live in constant fear of judgment, failure, comparison, all because of a bigger dream that we need to serve as respected people of society. You and I both know what that does to our individual being, doesn't it? We live in constant anxiety, stress, self-doubt. It sort of robs us of the joys we want to experience, and it leaves us feeling empty. But the 4 agreements, if genuinely considered and practiced, can help you break free from these shackles and give you a newer, healthier perspective to your life. More importantly, to yourself. So, get ready now and start making notes, because this episode doesn't end here. I'm going to go in depth into these 4 agreements with the next 2 episodes. So this is a 3-part series and I want you to be completely at it with me. So here are the 4 agreements for you. The first one, be impeccable with your word. The second one, don't take anything personally. The third one, don't make assumptions. And the fourth one, always do your best. Be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions and always do your best. I'm going to leave you with this to just simmer and think about and start making notes, like I said, journal, if you will. Think and write about whether you are impeccable with your word. How often do you think you take things personally? How offended do you get? How many times have relationships and opportunities suffered because you made assumptions? You thought, and because you thought, you wouldn't do something that would be good for you, that would change your life, that would help you grow. And lastly, do you always put your best foot forward? Do you always give your best to whatever you are doing? Ponder over this, and in the next 2 episodes, we will decode each of these agreements so you can live life on your own terms, make each day purposeful and beautiful for yourselves, and also for those around you. Now, don't go anywhere. You have some self-work to do, so get on with it right away. And stay tuned for the second and third part of the series on the 4 agreements. So, my precious people, if you enjoy listening to the Life Manifesto and manifesting your life and achieving your dreams, please go ahead and like and rate our podcast. You can also click on the notification bell to get to know as soon as our latest episode drops. Do subscribe to the Life Manifesto. It's going to help us go a long way and also reach out to like-minded people who want to truly manifest their lives and live the best version of themselves. Meanwhile, do what you love and do it often. And if you don't like something, go right ahead and change it. The power is within you. Thank you for tuning in to the Life Manifesto with me, Zarina. If you find this show useful, then please share it with your friends, family, and co-workers. You never know. You may just help someone become the best version of themselves. And if you want to align your life with some signature masterclasses, certification courses, and live sessions with me, go check out and download my app, Life Manifesto with Zarina Poonawalla, available on Play Store or Apple Store. And if you have any suggestions or anything that you would like to share with me, get in touch with me on my social media handles. I am at Zarina Poonawalla on Instagram and LinkedIn, and at Zarina Speaks on Twitter. See you in the next episode.
Hey, it's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On Cyrus Says Cock and Bull, Cyrus, Naveen, Antriksh, and myself talk about staff at Twitter panicking after Elon Musk's takeover and Rahul Gandhi partying at a Kathmandu nightclub. On the Filter Coffee podcast, Karthik talks to Hemant Soreng and Rajesh Nair, founders of Rustic Travel. It's an ice cream, you scream kind of day at Simplify. The hosts have a fun chat about all things ice cream. On All Things Policy, the Takshashila folk analyze 73 years of China's PLA Navy. And on the Life Manifesto, Zarina shares an important lesson about friendship with the story of Genghis Khan and his falcon. Do follow us on social media. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And remember, if you're following this show or any of our other shows for that matter, please do tell a friend. Word of mouth is one of our biggest, most helpful things you could do for us. We'd really appreciate that. And also, don't forget to rate us on any of the platforms you're listening on. And you can also check us out on YouTube. Go check out ivmpodcast.com/YouTube. You get a list of all of our YouTube channels there. We're also doing a small listener survey to better understand how you respond to our shows and the advertising on the network. We would really appreciate it if you could spare a few minutes to fill it out. It's at ivmpodcast.com/survey. This really helps us build better shows for you. And finally, we'd like to thank our sponsors for this week, SBI Life Insurance, India Water Portal, and Jupiter, a digital banking app.
Habits? Routines? How exactly do they help us get better? Well, to simplify it for you, tune in to the Habit Coach podcast. I am Ashton Doctor, and I'm going to be here to help you get better daily with some simple, easy-to-do habits that you can easily adapt to your life. So tune in to the Habit Coach podcast from Monday to Friday, because I believe that awesome lives start with awesome habits.